I live in a loving, abundant universe, and it is responding to me even now in ways I am only beginning to understand. Take a slow breath with me, gently in and just as softly out. My dear, before anything else, I want you to pause, not because something is wrong, but because something is finally aligning. I know there have been moments, quiet, heavy moments, where you wondered if the universe had forgotten you, if your prayers, your hopes, your silent wishes had somehow disappeared into nothingness. I know what it feels like to wait and not see movement, to give and not feel it returned, to believe and yet still question. So, let me sit with you here, in this space between where you are and where you long to be, and let me remind you of something your heart already knows. You are not unseen, you are not unheard, and you are certainly not unsupported. Take another breath, deeper this time. There is something incredibly tender about this phase you're in. It may look like stillness on the outside, but inside, something profound is happening. The universe is not silent, it is listening. It is not distant, it is responding. Just not always in the loud, immediate ways you were taught to expect. Let me ask you something, sweetheart. What if nothing in your life has been delayed? What if everything has been prepared? I want you to imagine a seed. Not just any seed, but one planted deep in rich, dark soil. From above, it looks like nothing is happening. Days pass, maybe even weeks. And if that seed could think, it might begin to panic. It might say, "Why am I still here? Why haven't I grown? Why is nothing changing?" But beneath the surface, something miraculous is unfolding. Roots are forming. Strength is building. A foundation is being created that will one day support something beautiful. And my dear, that seed is you. You see, the universe doesn't respond only to your words. It responds to your energy, your readiness, your becoming. And sometimes what feels like a pause is actually protection. What feels like silence is actually calibration. You are being aligned with something that matches the version of you you are stepping into, not the version you are leaving behind. And I know that can feel confusing, because part of you is still looking outward, asking, when will it happen? While another part of you, a quieter, wiser part, is beginning to ask, who am I becoming in the process? And that question, that gentle shift, changes everything. Take a breath with me again. Feel your body soften. There is a difference between chasing and receiving, and most of us were never taught how to receive. We were taught to strive, to push, to prove, to earn. So when life slows down, when things don't come instantly, we assume we must be doing something wrong. But what if the universe isn't asking you to do more? What if it's asking you to become more open, more trusting, more aligned with the version of yourself who already believes they are supported, guided, and worthy of abundance? Because here is the quiet truth. The universe mirrors who you are being, not just what you are asking for. If you are asking for love while feeling unworthy, you will notice absence more than presence. If you are asking for abundance while feeling scarcity, you will see lack more than opportunity. Not because the universe is denying you, but because it is reflecting you. And this is not something to fear. It is something to gently become aware of. You don't have to fix yourself, my dear. You only have to notice and soften. Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart open just a little more. You are not behind in life. You are in the exact moment where your inner world is being restructured so your outer world can finally match it. Think of it like this. If you were handed everything you've been asking for right now, exactly as you are, would you feel safe holding it? Would you trust it enough to keep it? Would you recognize it when it arrived? These are not questions meant to make you doubt yourself, but to gently guide you inward. Because the universe, in its deep intelligence, does not just give, it prepares. It prepares your heart to receive love without fear. It prepares your mind to hold abundance without self-sabotage. It prepares your identity so that when what you desire arrives, it feels natural, not overwhelming. And this preparation, it often feels like waiting, but it is not empty waiting. It is sacred becoming. Let me sit with you in that for a moment. Just breathe. There is nothing you need to rush, nothing you need to force. You are already in motion, even when it feels like you are standing still. And I want you to begin noticing something very subtle, something very powerful. Instead of asking, why isn't it here yet? Gently ask, what is changing within me right now? Because that is where the real movement is. You may notice you are becoming more patient, more aware, more selective with your energy, more willing to let go of what no longer feels aligned. These are not small things. These are signs that your inner world is expanding to meet the life you are calling in. And the universe, it responds to that. It responds to the quiet decisions you make when no one is watching. It responds to the way you speak to yourself in your most vulnerable moments. It responds to your willingness to believe, even when you don't yet see. So right now, in this moment, I want you to gently shift your attention. Place your hand over your heart, if that feels comfortable, and just feel your own presence. You are here. You are breathing. You are still open. And that means everything is still possible. Now, let me guide you into something very simple, something soft and powerful. As you breathe in, quietly say to yourself, I am supported. And as you breathe out, I am safe to receive. Again, slowly, I am supported. I am safe to receive. Let those words settle into you, not as something you have to force, but as something you are remembering. Because deep down, you already know this. You've just been surrounded by noise that made you forget, and forgetting is okay, because remembering is always available. Now, my dear, there is something I want to gently bring into your awareness. Sometimes, when the universe begins to respond to us, we don't recognize it, or we resist it in subtle ways. We say we want change, but we cling to familiarity. We say we want abundance, but we feel uncomfortable receiving. We say we want love, but we guard our hearts so tightly that nothing can enter. This is not your fault. This is conditioning. This is what you learn to do in order to protect yourself. But you are no longer in those old moments. You are here, and you are allowed to soften now. You are allowed to trust again, slowly, gently, in your own time. Because the universe you live in is not harsh or withholding. It is responsive. It is listening. It is adjusting. It is meeting you where you are and guiding you step by step into something more aligned, more beautiful, more expansive than you can currently see. And I know, sometimes you want proof, something tangible, something undeniable. But what if the proof has been there all along, just quieter than you expected? A moment of peace where there used to be anxiety, a new thought where there used to be doubt, a small opportunity that appeared just when you needed it. These are not coincidences. These are responses, gentle, subtle, but real. And the more you notice them, the more they grow. So instead of searching for something big and overwhelming, begin noticing what is already shifting, because the universe often whispers before it speaks loudly. And right now, it is whispering to you. You are held. You are guided. You are becoming ready. Take a breath with me again. Feel that. Let it land. You don't have to chase what is already finding its way to you. You only have to stay open enough to receive it when it arrives. And as you sit here with me, breathing gently, allowing these words to settle into the quiet spaces within you, I want you to notice something very subtle, something you may have overlooked for so long. The universe has never been working against you. It has always been working with you. Even in the moments that felt like rejection, even in the delays that made you question everything, even in the endings that left you standing there, unsure of what came next, there was a deeper intelligence at play. Not to punish you, not to test you in some cruel way, but to redirect you, to protect you, to realign you with something that truly belongs in your life. I know. It didn't always feel that way. There were nights you lay there, replaying everything in your mind, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why things didn't work out the way you had hoped. And in those moments, it's so easy to believe that life is random, that things just fall apart without meaning. But my dear, what if nothing ever fell apart? What if it simply fell into place, just not the place you were expecting? Take a breath. Let that question gently open something inside you. Because when you begin to see your life this way, everything softens. The tight grip you've been holding on to begins to loosen. The need to control every outcome begins to dissolve. And in its place, something much more powerful emerges. Trust. Not blind trust. Not forced positivity. But a quiet, grounded knowing that something bigger than your current perspective is unfolding. You see, the universe doesn't just respond to what you want. It responds to what you are ready to hold. And readiness is not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about the way you feel when you think about what you desire. It's about whether your nervous system feels safe experiencing it. It's about whether your identity recognizes it as something natural or something too good to be true. And this is where so many people get stuck, not because they aren't worthy, but because they haven't yet become familiar with the feeling of having what they want. So when it gets close, they pull away. When it begins to appear, they doubt it. When it arrives, they question if it will last. Does that feel familiar to you? Be honest with yourself, gently, without judgment, because awareness is not meant to shame you. It's meant to free you. Take another slow breath. What if, instead of asking the universe to prove itself to you, you began showing the universe that you are ready? Not through force, not through constant doing, but through your state of being. Through the way you carry yourself in quiet moments, through the way you respond to uncertainty, through the way you choose thoughts that feel like possibility instead of limitation. Because the truth is, your emotional state is a signal. It is a frequency, and the universe is always responding to that frequency. Not to punish you, but to match you. So if you are constantly feeling anxious, doubtful, or unworthy, the experiences that reflect those feelings will continue to appear. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because you are being shown what still needs your attention, your awareness, your compassion. And this is where your power gently returns to you. because you don't have to control the entire universe. You only have to become aware of what is happening within you. And from that awareness, you can begin to choose differently. Not perfectly, just differently. Even if it's just one thought. Even if it's just one moment where you pause and say, what if this is working out for me? That single shift, that soft redirection, begins to change everything. Let me guide you into something simple right now. Close your eyes. If that feels comfortable, take a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the need to figure everything out. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to see the full path. You only need to take the next gentle step and trust that the next one will reveal itself when you're ready. Now, quietly within yourself, repeat after me. I live in a loving, abundant universe. Pause. And it is responding to me. Again, slowly. I live in a loving, abundant universe. And it is responding to me. Let those words move through you, not as something you are trying to believe, but as something you are allowing. Because belief doesn't always come instantly. Sometimes it grows softly, like that seed we spoke about earlier. And every time you return to this thought, every time you breathe into it, you are watering that seed. You are strengthening a new way of seeing your life, a new way of relating to the world around you. And over time, it becomes natural. It becomes who you are. Now, my dear, I want to gently bring light to something that often stays hidden beneath the surface. Sometimes, the very thing we say we want is the thing we are most afraid of receiving. Not consciously, but quietly beneath our awareness. Because receiving something new means stepping into the unknown. It means letting go of the familiar patterns, even if those patterns have been painful. It means allowing yourself to be seen, to be expanded, to be changed. And change, even beautiful change, can feel uncomfortable at first. So what do? We hesitate. We delay. We tell ourselves, maybe later, maybe when I'm more ready, maybe when everything feels perfect. But perfection is not the requirement. Openness is. Willingness is a gentle yes within your heart, even if it's quiet, even if it's uncertain. That is enough. You don't have to force yourself into a completely different person overnight. You only have to soften into the possibility that you are allowed to receive more than you've been experiencing. More love, more ease, more support, more abundance. And you don't have to earn it in the way you were taught. You align with it. You allow it. You become available to it. Take a breath. Feel that. There is nothing outside of you that you need to chase. Everything you are calling in is already moving toward you, adjusting, aligning, finding its way. Your only role is to meet it halfway, not through struggle, but through presence, through awareness, through choosing again and again to return to a state of trust, even when it feels unfamiliar. And I know some days that will feel easy. And other days, it will feel almost impossible. On those days, my dear, be gentle with yourself. You are not meant to be in a constant state of certainty. You are human. You will have moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments where old thoughts try to pull you back into old patterns. That is okay. That is part of the unfolding. The key is not to eliminate those moments, but to notice them without becoming them. To see the thought and gently say, I hear you, but I am choosing something new. to feel the emotion and allow it to move through you without letting it define your reality. This is the real work, not forcing positivity, not denying your feelings, but becoming aware and choosing, softly, a new direction. And every time you do this, even in the smallest way, you are sending a signal. You are telling the universe, I am ready. I am opening. I am becoming. And the universe responds, not all at once, but in layers, in subtle shifts, in moments that feel almost too small to notice, until one day you look back and realize everything has changed. So stay with me here. Breathe. You are not waiting for your life to begin. You are in it right now, and it is responding to you more than you realize. Take a slow breath in and let it go gently. Feel how your body has softened, even just a little. Feel how something within you has begun to open, not forcefully, not all at once, but quietly, naturally, like a flower that no longer feels the need to rush its bloom. This is how transformation truly happens. Not in sudden, overwhelming bursts, but in soft, consistent shifts that you almost don't notice at first. And yet, everything changes. I want you to understand something deeply, something you can carry with you long after this moment. You are not separate from the universe you are trying to trust. You are part of it. You move within it, and it moves within you. So when you begin to soften your thoughts, when you begin to choose gentler beliefs, when you begin to open your heart even a little, you are not just changing yourself. You are changing the way the universe meets you. Do you see how powerful that is? You are not a passive observer waiting for life to happen to you. You are in relationship with it. A living, breathing exchange. Every thought, every feeling, every quiet decision you make is part of that conversation. And the universe is always listening, always responding, not judging, not withholding, just reflecting, adjusting, aligning. So now, I want to guide you a little deeper into this understanding. Let me ask you something. If you truly believed deep in your heart, without hesitation, that you live in a loving, abundant universe that is responding to you, how would you wake up tomorrow? Would you rush into your day with tension, or would there be a softness in your breath? Would you look at your life and see lack, or would you begin to notice the subtle ways things are already supporting you? Would you speak to yourself with doubt, or with quiet encouragement? Just imagine that version of you for a moment. Not a perfect version, not someone who has everything figured out, but someone who trusts. Someone who knows that even when things are unclear, they are still unfolding in their favor. Feel into that, because that version of you already exists. You are not becoming someone else. You are remembering who you have always been beneath the fear, beneath the conditioning, beneath the noise. And the more you return to that version of yourself, the more your reality begins to shift in response. Now, I want to give you something very simple, something you can carry into your everyday life without pressure, without overwhelm. When you wake up in the morning, before the world rushes in, just take one conscious breath, and in that breath, gently remind yourself, I am in a loving, abundant universe. Pause, and it is responding to me. Let that be enough. You don't need to force a feeling. You don't need to convince yourself of anything. Just plant the thought, like a seed. And throughout your day, when something small goes right, when a moment feels lighter, when something works out in an unexpected way, pause again. Acknowledge it. Even if it seems insignificant, whisper to yourself, this is part of it. Because the more you notice, the more you receive. The more you recognize the response, the stronger the connection becomes. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, your focus begins to shift from what is missing to what is already moving, from what hasn't arrived yet to what is quietly unfolding. And that shift changes your entire experience of life. Now, my dear, I want to speak to the part of you that still feels a little afraid, the part of you that wonders, what if I trust and I'm disappointed again? That fear is valid. It comes from moments where things didn't go the way you hoped, where you opened your heart and felt let down, where you believed and then had to face something unexpected. So of course you hesitate. Of course you hold back. That is not weakness. That is your heart trying to protect you. But let me gently offer you a new perspective. Trust is not about guaranteeing a specific outcome. It is about knowing that no matter what happens, you will be guided, supported, and carried through it. It is about releasing the need for everything to go exactly as planned and allowing something even more aligned to emerge. Because sometimes what you thought you wanted was only a small piece of what is truly meant for you, and the universe, in its quiet wisdom, sees beyond your current perspective. It sees the connections you cannot see, the timing you cannot predict, the possibilities you haven't yet imagined. And it is always, always moving you towards something that matches not just your desire, but your growth. So, when something doesn't happen the way you expected, it is not rejection. It is redirection. It is adjustment. It is refinement. And I know that can still be hard to accept in the moment. But over time, when you look back, you will begin to see the pattern. You will begin to understand why certain doors remained closed and why others opened when they did. And in that understanding, your trust will deepen. Not because someone told you to trust, but because you have experienced the truth of it for yourself. Take a breath. Let that settle into you. You don't have to rush this process. You don't have to get it perfectly right. You only have to stay open, just enough to keep moving forward. And on the days when you forget, on the days when doubt feels louder than trust, come back to this moment. Come back to your breath. Come back to this simple truth. I live in a loving, abundant universe, and it is responding to me. Even if you whisper it through uncertainty, it still counts. Even if you don't fully feel it yet, it still matters. Because every time you return to this awareness, you are strengthening a new foundation within yourself. A foundation that is not built on fear, but on connection. Not on lack, but on possibility. And from that foundation, everything begins to grow. So, my dear, as you move forward from here, carry this softness with you. Carry this quiet knowing that you are not alone in your journey. That life is not something you have to fight against, but something you can begin to move with. That the universe is not distant, but deeply, intimately involved in your becoming. And most importantly, that you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to experience ease. You are allowed to be supported in ways you may not yet fully understand. So, take one more slow breath with me. Feel your heart. Feel your presence. And know this, you are already in conversation with a loving, abundant universe, and it is always responding to you